Something very important that we've discussed, you need to know what it is and what it is not. This is not a long-term trend following system. Most of the patterns, if not all of the patterns, are occurring regardless of the long-term bias. Something I want you to write down, trade expectation. Trade expectation, we said before, is stacking the odds in your favor. There are certain patterns within this that have a higher probability based on longer-term trends, but 90% of the trades have nothing to do with the trend. Okay? Now, I want you to answer a question for me, maybe by a show of hands. Let's say the market is up 3 days in a row. Big green candle, big green candle, big green candle. None of those candles are inside the previous day by that much. So a lot of buying, I call those well bid. Why do I write this down? Well bid means higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart, or any chart. We're going to say well bid on the daily here. 3 days up in a row, stock gaps higher the next day. What are the odds of you making money buying a gap higher after 3 days in a row? More than 50% or less? Less. So we're going to combine that with what happens on the opening print and then the push off the opening print and set up some very specific criteria of when to enter. So we're going to start to work the pattern, when it works, when it doesn't work. But let's make it very clear. The pattern is not contingent upon an underlying trend. It's not. It should be very easy to identify. Actually, before I get to that, I want to point out a book that I recommend during every presentation that I do, and it's not a trading book, but every single person I've recommended this book to has come back to me either through an email or in person and said, that book is phenomenal. It has everything to do with how to be a better trader, but it's nothing to do with trading. It's called Mindset. M-I-N-D-S-E-T. The author's name is Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. Probably some of the best $8 you'll ever spend. I got it on my Kindle, you read the whole thing. And essentially what it comes down to, she teaches in the book about whether you have a fixed mindset about life and everything is rigid and you don't allow for anything to unfold or learn, or you have a growth mindset where everything that happens is a lesson. Actually, ironically, being in Chicago right now, has anybody here ever heard of W. Clement Stone? Fantastic. Every other city I go to, nobody has heard of W. Clement Stone. W. Clement Stone lived to 100, everything you possibly, about the most successful person you could meet in this particular city. Think and Grow Rich. Anybody heard Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill? Okay, they combined and they wrote Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. Basically what W. Clement Stone did, he was a inverse paranoid. Has anybody ever heard that quote before? Essentially what it is he believed that the earth was conspiring to help him. Think about that in your life when you're walking through the day and say, why does that happen to me? And let's put that into trading context. Let's get to the point, we're getting back to that book Mindset, having a growth mindset, being an inverse paranoid in your trading to say that trade was brought to me to learn something. What did I learn as opposed to, oh my God, the world's collapsing, where's my scotch, I lost money. I've been there too. The sooner we all get to the point where every single trade is a lesson, something to be learned, a key observation we could take out of it, we will grow as traders and have the opportunity to be profitable at an exponential rate. It's when you are consistently saying, I'm right, I don't need to learn anything else, that you will stall. You're either moving forward or moving backwards. There is no, I'm good. So always be learning. And what we're going to talk about now is getting to the point where you know how many times today did I say edge and strategy? I will beat it into the ground that you must believe in your strategy. What I'm going to show you right now, in my growth mindset, in my inverse paranoid trader mindset, I got to the point where I said, this makes sense. Like Rob said, this makes sense. I want you to learn it. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. All right. Bottom part here, if you didn't write it down yet, we have concept and theory. It's not longer term. Buy in the open, sell tomorrow morning. Very, very clean. A couple of questions that had been asked to Rob. How long do you hold the trade? The concept of this trade. How many people here trade intraday? Okay, I'm going to give you a little different concept to think of. A lot of traders get into a trade intraday, have an intraday stop loss, and they say, where do I think it's going in the next hour? Right? Put on a trade, where do I get out? Right, next hour. I want the next move. Start to think about where do I think this stock is going to close. not where do I think it's going to be in the next hour. And now think about this. We're taking these trades off the open. So we're talking about the first 90 minutes of the day, and then we're going to structure our day around when this happens, we have a pretty good idea of where it's going to close today. Not where it's going to be in the next couple of minutes. If we get the close we want, we are going to hold the close into tomorrow and exit tomorrow's opening. This is not a longer term, what are the fundamental type ideas? Okay, so I want to be very clear on that. How many people have a stock watch on their screen that says change from yesterday's close? Like I have a list of stocks, what's in there? What do you normally have in there? The last price, right, where the price is right now, and what it's up or down from the previous close, right? Here's what I want you to do. Add to your stock watch, change from the open. I get questions all the time. How do you know which stocks to trade today? Well, first you should have coming into the day, I want to be long or short these stocks. Let's take the next step. Stock is up $4 from yesterday's close, but it's negative from today's open. Is that stock strong or weak today? It's weak, even though it's up whatever amount, right? As a short-term trader, which I think a lot of us here are, you want to know where is the buying or selling pressure now. And then we're going to use what I call foundation candlesticks, which is the previous completed 15-minute, hourly, or daily candlestick. Are we inside or outside yesterday? Where are we from the close? When we combine the setup with the push off the open, with where we're trading from the open, that's the strategy and the tactics that I attack the market with every day that we're going to go over right now.